Love to see that. The season of giving, Giving Tuesday. Did you see the light bright in the middle of that toy cluster? And that was something that my wife had last night with their Stranger Things party. Actually put that together, had a Demogorgon, used the light bright for that. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's talk about the weather. We got a lot to talk about. Can't waste any time. We got another night below freezing, milder weather, and a cold front coming for tomorrow night. And that front is going to drop the temperatures. And me personally, I think models are underdoing the amount of precipitation. I don't think it's a major storm, but I do think some winter weather and some slick spots could be developing on the roads Thursday morning and possibly even Thursday evening. Then we got some milder afternoons expected for Friday and Saturday. We'll show you all of that. Look at the Bentonville Square. Man, is that crowded, and people are enjoying the lights. We're getting closer and closer to the Christmas holiday, and Hanukkah's right around the corner too. 39 degrees, dew points in the mid-20s on this second day of meteorological winter, which starts December 1st and goes through the end of February. And that's statistically speaking, so even though it's not astronomical winter, which basically starts the third week in December, at the end of the third week, it feels a lot like winter out there now. Temperatures are going to be dropping overnight tonight into the upper 20s to lower 30s, so you can see we're below freezing. It's a little chilly already. 49 degrees for the high temperature. Notice the chance of precipitation starting to sneak in Thursday morning and into the afternoon. That's where we're going to spend most of our time with the weather forecast, because that's the next big thing that's moving in. And will it be a big thing? Well, that remains to be seen at this point. But high pressure shifting off to the east. We know another system is moving in, but the problem is that this system is organizing, and sometimes models struggle when a system is just organizing. It hasn't been full-blown over the southwestern United States. So instead, this is diving in and just starting to organize a lot of lift that could be out ahead of it. And so with this system moving in, I do think it's just too strong. There's just too much energy. It's too much of a disturbance to not produce any precipitation. And I'll show you what some of the models have with this system coming in. So we'll take a look here, first of all, at the European model. Very minuscule, very little precipitation. It shows maybe a little bit coming in Thursday afternoon. Me personally, I think this is underdone. Why do I think that? Because on Monday, yesterday, this model didn't have much either. And we know that we got a little bit, enough to cause some accidents. Let's take a look at the GFS model, another lower resolution model. I don't know about you, but when I'm watching football in 4K, it's a lot better than 1080p, and that's a lot better than 720p for resolution. Basically, the higher the resolution, the better the chance of the forecast being correct. Notice this doesn't even have any precipitation at all. Now, let's take a look at a 4K television. All right, this is a little more higher definition, and you'll see it does squeeze out some precipitation. Also, notice those temperatures too, dropping down below freezing. So Thursday morning could have a few slick spots on bridges and overpasses with possibly some freezing drizzle. Then as we go throughout the late morning into the afternoon, look, more precipitation. Like, where is that on the other models? Well, they're not higher resolution enough to see it. And we also know that the cold air is coming. Here's a look at the wind chills for Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Look at that, upper teens, lower 20s. That's pretty chilly. Thursday afternoon, we're not going to get out of the 30s. So cold weather expected for the Fayetteville parade that's happening. Springdale parade was yesterday. I know that was a chilly one too. Brief cold snap coming, and then we start to warm back up on Friday and Saturday into the mid to upper 40s to lower 50s. A warming trend next week, Monday and Tuesday, and then that continues. Notice the arrow pointing to the right. That means warmer weather is probably going to last throughout a good portion of next week as we have a little bit of a warmer weather pattern. But I will say this, I think we squeeze out a little precipitation, and when you get the devils in the details and you get those finer scale models that can kind of, look at stuff a little closer, I think it does produce something. So it's going to be a wait and see to see what this system does. I do know we're testing what's called a 2-kilometer computer model, which is like 8K,